there's Mark in Marlow. I've just tuned in, guys. I'm already enjoying the show. Troy Deeney, obviously sounding one of the best impartial, intelligent analysis, and he's going to be with you until 1. Good, I'll stay with it. So, many of you enjoying Troy right away. Simon, you might have had a sly snigger at the Welsh and they haven't made it. But Scotland last night, and one wonders where they're going. Scotland booed off by their own fans after losing 1-0 to Northern Ireland. It's now 7 games without a win. Scotland's worst run since going 9 in 97-98. Where are they going then, this close to Germany? Here's Steve Clark.
Credit to Northern Ireland. I thought they were excellent. Played well. Good shape, good discipline. Defended with their lives. I think we had 14 shots. 8 of them were blocked. That's good defending. So they got the goal with a deflection and defended well. We didn't find enough to get the goal to equalise or go on and win the game. It's probably fair to say we're not very good at friendlies because we don't win too many of them. So let's hope it's when it comes to the competitive stuff in June that we're ready to go. I'm sure we will be.
You said, Simon, you like Steve Clark.
I do.
I like him as well.
Yeah.
The line there, we're not very good at friendlies. Troy had a glance at me when he heard that. I mean, after all the fanfare that came with qualification, are the Scots collapsing under the brief rising expectation?
Well, if you're going to look at the run of fixtures they've had, with the exception of Northern Ireland, and say they've played Spain, France, Holland and England, and you expect Scotland to get many results out of that, then you're away with yourself. So the characterisation of it is slightly unfair about their recent form. Yeah, it's a disappointing result. You've got to give credit to Northern Ireland. It's a friendly. You don't win anything in friendlies. What you do is you galvanise the media and you create a narrative. But it doesn't make any difference when you go into a competitive tournament. There's a whole different bag of a box of chocolates, isn't it? Souness talks about the fact there's a 10% drop-off in what he considers to be friendlies, almost exhibition games in terms of the intensity of how people play. So whilst it gives a backdrop and gives people an opportunity to hit people over the head with shortcomings or praise them unnecessarily when they do something that they think is exceptional, it means nothing. And Scotland's run of form in recent games, whilst disappointing, when you list it off, haven't won a game in 7 games.
Yeah.
Well, I don't expect them to beat Spain. I don't expect them to beat France. I don't expect them to beat the Dutch, and I didn't expect them to beat the English.
So, I mean, I'll sound naive, right. Troy. You as a player, if you went into a friendly, would you give it as much as you would a game that's got something on it?
They're always going to give it everything they can, but they're never going to go to those 50-50s and go, right, let's go and smash this person, because they're just protecting themselves. There's something in the back of your mind. You have to protect yourself. It's a friendly, fundamentally. I know it's not what everyone wants to hear, but it's the truth. When you do pre-season games, you never see anyone go whack, whack, whack. You're preparing for something. That was kind of a question I was going to ask you, actually, Simon.
Would it be different, though, Troy? Let me ask. Let me characterise the question. Would it be different for someone like Ivan Toney? Because
Absolutely.
Ivan Toney hasn't established himself as an England player, so he's going to have to be all in.
Yeah, absolutely. But not everyone around him will be, because some of them are comfortable.
Yeah.
Pickford made a mistake last night. The first thing he did was, my fault, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Who's he going to get dropped for?
Yeah.
So, some of them are in that comfortable position of, oh, no, I'm going to be in the squad at least. That's the minimum. Bare minimum, I'm going to be in the squad.
You were going to put something to him?
Yeah, I was going to say something. When you talk about friendlies, though, Simon, I think I should be able to look at that Scotland team and say, I know who and what you are now over those friendlies. I don't expect them to win, similar to yourself, but what is your style? Are you a passing team? Are you a go direct team? Are you a cross it? I don't really know. I don't really know what it is yet. I know with Northern Ireland they sit in deep and they're going to hit you on the counter attack, and that's what they did last night. But I look at that Scotland team now and I go, Patterson, not really. Cooper, not really. The midfield is okay. Dykes again, not really. Do we expect Scotland to win many games? And this is not a dig at Scotland.
No, I know what you're saying.
Just a no bias that's just looking at it going, that team there is meant to go and cause trouble.
Yeah, so should the Scotland fans pipe down? Don't boo them.
No, they should, because I would expect the Scottish team to turn up and have a fight with everyone. Turn up and be hard-working, resilient. You've got people like John McGinn, Scott McTominay. Their game is based on high energy, getting after people.
Yeah.
Now, I saw Patterson, the way he was defending for that first goal. That's somebody that's seen that as a bit of a friendly. That's stuff you do on a Friday. That is in training. In an old V Young game, I don't know, he's flicking the ball with the outside of his right foot with 2 people up his back. Come on.
I mean, Scotland will score goals. I mean, Scotland scored 3 against Norway. They scored 2 against Georgia. They scored 3 against Cyprus. It's the opposition plays a big part now. Northern Ireland, with due respect to Northern Ireland, you'd expect Scotland to get a result against Northern Ireland in a competitive game. But this is a friendly, and whilst it means something, and you should not diminish the fact that you've gotten beaten at home by Northern Ireland, and fair play to them, because it's a better result for them, obviously, than it is for Scotland.
Yeah.
But if you put Scotland in against lesser opposition, irrespective of the quality of their forwards, they'll find opportunities to score goals, whether it's Scott McTominay scoring for them, or it's John McGinn creating opportunities for them, or it's Lyndon Dykes getting on the end of something every now and again. But those opportunities will come more frequently against lesser sides. When you're against the top opposition, and I know that Northern Ireland is a sort of outlier on this, you'll find yourself in less opportunity to be on the ball and less opportunity to get chances.
Right.
So we see how they go against the Germans in the first game of the tournament. That's how I judge the Scots.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say, and Simon, you've taken us perfectly to it. Momentum, how important is it? The Germans seem to have it, and Germany faced Scotland in the opening game, Troy. So Germany beat France at the weekend. Germany beat the Netherlands last night. They've got momentum. Momentum's there. We ain't got momentum. Do you need it?
Yeah, you do. Realistically, you like to be in a flow because you've got the confidence of going after it. But I think the way that the Scots will turn up first game against Germany will be, we're expected to lose here. Complete underdogs. Right, all of us, band of brothers, let's go and give our best account of ourselves. I think if they lost, 3-0? I don't think anyone would go, I was surprised by that. But if they went out there, really put a marker down and show, listen, this is who we are, this is what we're going to be.
Yeah.
And again, from my very inexperienced looking at a lot of Scotland games, it's like, I don't really know who you are. Are you that hustle-bustle team? Are you that team that sits in and waits? At the minute, you're a little bit of everything, and that's the concern for me. If you're
I think it's a great game for the Scots because the Germans will be bricking it. They've got a they've got a decent result recently against French, but I spoke to Michael Ballett last week talking about the culture of German football, and he's saying they're soft and they've lost their fundamental belief systems, and the things that got Germany across the line, even when they weren't a better side, ain't there no more. And this is the opening game of the tournament in their own country with their expectation level, irrespective of how sort of ambivalent German fans are towards the German national team. They've got to open the tournament in their own country against a nation that they're expected to beat. This is a perfect game for Scotland to perform in. Because the Germans will be tight and they'll be uptight, and if the Scots can get anything on the Germans early on in the game, game on.
Jeez, what have you taken this morning?
Pity pill.
All right. Well, I mean, it's coming from Edward Longshanks himself, and you're hearing it. Lord Jordan is saying, no, the Scots should go in there and do it. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. The pressure's on the Germans. Scotland fans listening this morning, there will be many, but like the Welsh, you'll be downbeat a bit, but at least you're going to Germany. Wales aren't. How do you honestly feel about it? Because at the moment, you heard Troy, and Troy exactly knows what players think and exactly knows what a team can do and can't do. Does Steve Clarke really know what he's got at the moment? Do you as a fan really know what Scotland are at the moment? And of course, the tournament's just around the corner. 03717 223344. Give us a call.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.